All right, you guys, here's another clip of Thomas Sowell. And this one, he's talking about slavery and reparation. And we're hearing that more and more amongst the black community. Now, there's something that he points out, and something else that people just can't understand is the fact that slavery was just not a white person owning black slaves. It was just not that. Slavery's been around since pretty much humans have been around. Aztecs, for you woke Latinos out there that believe in this stupid rhetoric, Aztecs also practiced slavery. So they just go with the logic of, all right, let's give people some type of reparation for their ancestors suffering that they don't even know who their ancestor is. And there is no way that at present time anybody has ever been affected by slavery. So they're just assuming, this is what he talks about. This is exactly what Thomas Sowell is talking about, is that let's just go ahead and say, all right, if we give black reparations, somehow, some way in this world, everybody in their ancestors' bloodline has suffered some way, somehow through slavery. So that means each and every person will get this amount of money. Each and every person will get this amount of land, which makes no sense. But let him explain it to you guys. Let him tell you that slavery just wasn't amongst a certain race or a certain group. It was amongst the whole world where slavery was a thing. And it's a factual thing that white people just did not go to Africa and hunt these black people down to bring them as slaves. They were actually hunted down by their own African race. Money is the root of all evil. But let's go ahead and see what Thomas Sowell has to say, because obviously he can say it way better than I can.
Okay, so what I'm getting at is, you were of the generation that saw Jim Crow with your own eyes.
Oh, no question. No question.
Okay. So, well, let me read you a quotation. This is from an article that got a lot of attention in The Atlantic a couple of years ago called The Case for Reparations by Ta-Nehisi Coates. Quote, "White supremacy is a force so fundamental to America that it is difficult to imagine the country without it. Reparations is the price we must pay to see ourselves squarely." Close quote. And Tom Sowell, who actually saw Jim Crow with his own eyes and experienced it, responds how?
It would be nice to know his evidence for what he said, just to be old-fashioned about it. No, it was a rotten system. But I don't know how we get from that to reparations. I mean, what we see in the United States in terms of the bad things, you see all around the world. If you were to give reparations to everyone whose ancestors had been slaves, I suspect that you would have to give reparations to more than half the entire population of the globe. Slavery was not confined to one set of races. I suspect that most of the people who were either slaves or slave owners around the world were neither white nor black. I mean, this was a universal curse of the human species.
Africa, the Middle East, Asia, slavery took place everywhere.
And it continued elsewhere long after it was abolished in the Western countries.
All right. Let me try a